Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to go on a kind of microscopic safari. We're going to explore the absolute fundamentals of animal life, the very stuff that builds our bodies. So let's dive right into our tour of the body's building blocks, animal tissues.
I mean, have you ever really thought about it? If you zoom way in, past the skin, past the organs, what's the essential stuff you're actually built from? And I'm not getting all philosophical on you here. This is a biological question. And the answer? Well, it's surprisingly elegant.
So this right here, this is going to be our map for the journey. It turns out that every animal, from a tiny jellyfish to a huge jaguar, is built from just 4 basic types of tissue: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. It's like these are the 4 master materials in nature's workshop.
So, here's the plan. We're going to take a quick tour through each of these 4 regions. We'll start with the body's first line of defense, then we'll check out what powers all our movement, we'll explore our internal support system, and finally, we'll take a trip down the information superhighway. Okay, first stop, epithelial tissue. I like to think of this as the body's wallpaper. It covers everything inside and out, and it acts as our main protective barrier against the outside world. So the big idea here is that these cells are packed together super tightly, kind of like tiles on a floor, and that tight formation is exactly what makes them so good at their jobs. Whether it's your skin protecting you from the sun, the lining of your stomach absorbing nutrients, or glands secreting hormones, yep, that's all epithelial tissue doing its thing.
And this is where it gets really cool, because the shape of these cells tells you exactly what they do. First up, you've got squamous cells. They're super thin and flat, almost like little paving stones. This shape makes them perfect for creating smooth, low-friction surfaces, which is why you'll find them lining places like your mouth and blood vessels.
Next up, we have cuboidal cells, and yeah, you guessed it, they're shaped like little cubes. This shape gives them a lot more volume than those flat squamous cells, which is perfect for their main job, secretion. You find these guys working hard in your glands and kidneys, producing and releasing all sorts of important substances.
And to round out this trio, we have columnar cells. These are tall, rectangular cells, and they are the absolute champions of absorption. Their height gives them a ton of surface area, which is exactly what you need in your intestines to soak up all those nutrients from your food.
All right, let's move on to our second major stop, muscular tissue. This is the body's engine. It's the tissue that generates force and produces all motion, from a tiny heartbeat to an all-out sprint.
And this is its superpower. Muscle tissue is the only material in the body that can actively shorten or contract. It uses these special proteins to turn chemical energy into pure mechanical force. Literally every single move you make right now is all thanks to this one amazing ability. But of course, it's not that simple. Not all muscle is the same. Your body actually has 3 different types, and each one has a very specific job. You've got skeletal muscle for moving your bones, smooth muscle for all your internal organs, and cardiac muscle. That's the special stuff found only in your heart.
And this table just breaks it all down perfectly. See, skeletal muscle is voluntary. You decide when to move it. But smooth and cardiac, totally involuntary. They work automatically, which is a good thing. You can also see the striations or stripes on skeletal and cardiac muscle, but not on smooth muscle. And of course, their locations and shapes are all perfectly designed for what they do.
Okay, buckle up for stop number 3, because this one is the most diverse group of all, connective tissue. So if epithelial tissue is the wallpaper, connective tissue is pretty much everything else. It's the scaffolding, the glue, the insulation, even the delivery service. It does it all.
So what makes connective tissue? Well, connective. It's all about its structure. Unlike those tightly packed epithelial cells, these cells are scattered around inside a substance called an extracellular matrix. And this matrix can be a liquid, it can be a gel, or it can be rock solid. And that's the secret to its incredible variety.
Let's look at a classic example that you hear about all the time, especially in sports: tendons and ligaments. They might look kind of similar, but they have totally different jobs. Here's the easy way to remember. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Ligaments connect bone to bone, holding your joints together. Simple as that.
And the wild diversity just keeps going. Think about it. Solid bone gives you your entire rigid framework. That flexible cartilage acts like a shock absorber in your joints. Even adipose tissue, yep, fat, which insulates you and stores energy, is part of this family. It's kind of mind-blowing that all these different things fall under the same connective tissue umbrella, right?
Okay, now here's the one that blows most people's minds. Get this.
Even blood is a connective tissue. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But think about it. It fits the definition perfectly. Its cells, the red ones, white ones, and platelets, are all scattered in a liquid matrix called plasma. It connects the whole body by transporting nutrients and oxygen, so it's really the ultimate delivery service in the connective tissue family.
All right, for our final stop, we are plugging into the body's very own information superhighway, nervous tissue. This is the command and control center. It's responsible for all the communication and coordination that happens throughout your entire body.
And the absolute star of this show is the neuron. This incredible cell is built for one thing, and one thing only: communication. The dendrites are kind of like its antennas, catching signals. The cell body processes that info, and then the long axon, that zaps the signal onward, sometimes across huge distances within your body.
Now, let's just see this in action with a reflex. Imagine you touch something really hot, like a flame. Instantly, pain receptors in your skin send a signal racing up a sensory neuron to your spinal cord. There, an interneuron passes the message directly to a motor neuron, which zips right back down to a muscle in your arm, telling it to contract. You yank your hand away in a fraction of a second, before your brain even knows what happened. That's the lightning-fast power of nervous tissue.
So, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the 4 fundamental tissues. You've got the protective epithelial, the moving muscular, the supporting connective, and the communicating nervous. But you know, the real magic isn't in any one of these tissues by itself. It's in how they all work together, in perfect concert, to create a complex, functioning organism. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. We've seen the building blocks, right? The bricks and the mortar. We get their individual jobs. But what's that spark? What's the secret sauce that organizes them, coordinates them, and turns this collection of parts into something as complex and alive as, well, as you? That's something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining me on this tour.